New car, blind date, ripped shoes. Hello and welcome to another episode of Ramble On, the show where I post 3 different topic ideas on social media, and then 2 days later, I turn on a microphone, go at it for 10 minutes, and tell you what song I'm listening to this week at the end of it. So with that simple premise, we'll start the timer in 3, 2, 1, begin. I'm going to start right off the bat. I am getting over something, and it's got like something in my throat, so every once in a while I'll cough, but I'll actually, pardon me, that was a burp, but I'll actually mute it. So if you just hear dead air, that's just me coughing, and I just didn't want you guys to hear that because, well, it's gross. Anyway, with the legal stuff out of the way, I just purchased a new vehicle. Now, I've actually been driving for 5-6 years now, and what I had was a 2005 Santa Fe, which is not a bad car. I mean, Honda was pretty good to me. It survived the highway pretty nice. I drive the highway a lot, just out of free time, just because I love driving. So the highway is so close to where I live that I just turn on it and go for a bit. It was good for that. It survived a lot. I didn't have to take it to the mechanic too often, except recently. See, the problem was my axle broke, so my brakes weren't working well, and my steering kind of was wonky. Basically, it was falling apart. And when I went to my mechanic to say, this is what's happening, he said that it would cost $1,500 to replace it. And at this point, I've had to take it to the mechanic maybe a couple of times, so I said forget it. I'm just going to purchase a new vehicle. Now, I've known my mechanic since before I've even owned a vehicle, so what we did was I traded it to him. He said he'll pay me $2,500 for it, which after looking online seemed very reasonable. So I did with that, and then I looked at what he had and decided what I wanted to pick up. Now, for me, I just need something to get me from point A to point B, survive the highway, and has good speakers. That's all I need in a vehicle. So he said that a Ford Explorer might be good for me. I also need something that's high off the ground because of my horrible knees. Like my buddy Nick, you know Nick, he's Cheap Seats. Well, he has a car, and I try and avoid getting pickup and drop-offs from him because getting out of that car just bothers my knees so bad. So I got a Ford Explorer, which is just a climb out vehicle, which is so good. I'm loving it right now. And, well, I do love it, but the problem is I've had to take it to the mechanic. He's given me a couple years warranty, which is beautiful because the steering was a little off. The brakes were wobbling for a bit. The coolant was leaking. So I was able to take it back to him, and he was able to fix everything, which was beautiful. But now I think I've got it to a point where I can drive it beautifully. The only issue is, well, things have already happened. So now that he's fixed it up as much as we can probably get it, I'm going to take it on the highway pretty much right after I post this episode. I'm going off to the highway. So there's that. What else was going to happen? The interesting thing about this drive actually is what's going to happen with it. See, once again, Nick's sister, my ex-girlfriend, and and 2 other friends went to the bar the other night. And what had happened after that is I got set up on a blind, well, not really set up, I was given a number, and I texted her saying, hi, this is Drew. I got your name from blank. So anyway, what happened was this was a setup, and the conversation went to, I'm actually heading to Sudbury to test out the new vehicle, and I invited her to come. So literally, I know this person's name. I know she had an exam yesterday, and that is pretty much it. So this 3-hour drive is going to be very eye-opening. Hopefully she's a nice person. Again, I don't know this person. I barely know the friend who gave me the number, but I trust Nick, so I'm sure this is going to go swimmingly. I'll do a whole expose on Monday about how it went, what happened, if I'm going to talk to this person again, but I'll tell her before I tell everybody, because that's just rude, right? Telling everybody in the entire world you're not going to call someone back before you actually tell her that. I find the more honest approach is the best one. Not saying I won't call her back. I will tell her that I don't think this is going to work out, but it might. I don't know. Things could happen. But I've told people that this is what I'm doing, and they find it very weird. I don't see how it's entirely weird. I see it as like pushing the boundary. Like for usual blind dates, you go to a restaurant, you go to a movie, you go home, that's it. You see if you like each other. If you might have noticed about me, I don't like doing things the usual way if I can think of a creative way to do it. So I love this idea of just not knowing a person and learning about them while traveling on the road. What is the blind date? Have you ever gone on a blind date yourself? What kind of blind date was it? What did you do on it? Because I honestly have no idea what I'm going to do once I get to my destination. It's pretty much the drive was all I had planned. So I'm probably just going to ask her when we hit Sudbury what to do, what she wants to do. I don't know. I figured the drive was enough of a push for me that I don't have to worry about it anymore. But the thing I do have to worry about now is getting shoes. See, the issue I have right now is I have curled feet. You ever see those gestures in medieval times where they have those curved shoes with the bell on it? See, mine tend to do that automatically, and it's a pain in the ass to find good shoes. See, I have to buy new shoes, I think, every summer. Yeah, every summer I have to get new shoes. Is that normal? I don't know if everybody has to do that, but I do, because when I curl my feet, I tend to rip the bottom of it. I don't know if they're cheap shoes or not, but every time I step, I tend to bend my foot a little too much, and every pair of shoe, except for one that I have right now, kind of bends in the curved area. It's the, what is that part of the foot? The curved part between the heel and the toes. That is the best way to describe it, I think. But anyway, that's where it's bending, and I have to pick up new shoes, and that bothers me because I don't like spending money on those kinds of things. I really don't. And it's because people take notice of them, and I think I always buy the wrong pair. Like, 1 second. Sorry about that, my nose was running. I'll mute that. I just sniffled, don't worry. What was I talking about? Yes, so I always tend to buy the wrong pair or wear the wrong pair. Like, my routine when getting up in the morning is whatever's clean in the closet, whichever shoes are closest to the door is what I'm going to wear today. I don't put much into what I decide to put on for the day if I'm not working. Like, if I'm working, I tend to be presentable because you don't want to get fired for hygiene or something like that. So I do take an extra second just to think what looks good on me. Usually it's just a collared shirt that's clean, so nothing huge. But recently I've had problems deciphering what's good for shoes. So far it's been, if I wear black shoes. But every once in a while I think, you know what? I think brown works today. Basically what I'm telling you guys is I have no fashion sense. I really don't. And my sister tries to teach me, and it's going absolutely nowhere. The idea was she would go out with me to different places. Like, she recently bought me jeans. Not recently, because there's actually a Ramble On episode about me wearing jeans. So you can check back for that one. And she said, well, that was a good idea because I like jeans now. So let's try and show you different things that you can wear. And it has been a pain in the ass for her because I don't care. She says, what do you like, this or this? Nah. Well, what about these ones? Are they good on you? Nah. It doesn't matter to me. Fashion has never been a strong suit of mine. It's basically been, it's basically been, I also work at a theater, so you have to be kind of above the level presentable. So I usually just let her into my room, check out my closet, and say, what looks good? And so far, it's been okay. Like, I haven't had issues at work, so I guess I'm doing something right. But fashion has never been something that I entirely care about. In fact, I really hope that that is the same as this woman I'm meeting today, because here's my thing. I will understand if she wears makeup to this, but I don't like it when women put on makeup daily. It just seems like a waste. If you wear makeup on the first date, it's fine because you want to make an impression. That makes sense. Second, third, fourth, it makes sense. But casually in your life, don't wear makeup just because you want to look best outside. If people aren't fine with your natural look, screw them. But what I look at it as is if you have the natural look and you're comfortable in it, that is already attractive. And putting on makeup for special events or going out to dinner or something like that makes you even prettier. So that's why I hope that she's like that. That's one of my pet peeves about relationships, is the guys that have to, you know what I mean? I'm trying really not to sound sexist or anything of the sort. That's my opinion. My opinion is that women are attractive without makeup, but I can understand making a first impression with it. It's like if I wore a tie to the first date. That is it. Thank you guys for listening in. I hope I didn't tick you off with that last statement, if it made sense at all. But anyway, let's move on to the song I'm listening to this week. And this week it's actually a well-known song. It's Take Your Time by Sam Hunt. I'm not usually the kind of guy that tends to re-listen to the popular music. I just listen to it to do the Billboard Blitz. But this one I really enjoy. It's interesting, it's trying something new, and I can appreciate that. Thank you for listening. I'll see you guys on Monday for Monday's Pill. And as always, have yourself a great weekend.
See where it goes. I don't want to steal your freedom. I don't want to change your mind. I don't have to make you love me. I just want to take